Welcome to the Creatives, RadioNow's entertainment talk show. My name is Doris Okorie. You'll be listening to us every Friday at 8 p.m. on RadioNow 95.3 FM and also on our other platforms. On our website, www.thisisradionow.com, on Facebook, facebook.com/thisisradionow, and on YouTube, RadioNow Studio. Today in the studio, I have a very talented guest. I have with me in the studio a creator who is skilled with weaving words and creating magical stories for our edu entertainment. Fasten your seatbelts. You're tuned into the Creatives on RadioNow 95.3 FM. My name is Doris Okorie. Let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're tuned into the Creatives on RadioNow 95.3 FM. My name is Doris Okorie. I have with me in the studio a creator whose imaginations come through, a wordsmith, from words on paper to visuals on our screen. She's also a writer who has written projects such as Jennifer's Diary, The Johnsons, Mama Drama, Bad Boys and Bridesmaids, Sanitation Day, and many more. She has also sat in the director's chair with films such as Just Us Girls, On the Edge, and The Love Square, amongst others. She's also an author of fictionals such as A Walk on Water, A Twinkle Little Christmas, and a 4-part book, If Only series. She's also one of the creative directors at Writers Inc. Concept. Welcome, author, screenwriter, director, Temitope Bolade-Akinbode. Thank you so much, Temitope, for coming through. Okay, so my first question is, how did you get into the film industry?
That's an interesting question. It's a long one.
I got you. I'm ready. I love gist. So
okay, so I've always loved reading.
Okay.
And I think I did. When I was in my teenage years, I saw my sister writing because I taught her how to read, like reading books, novels, and all of that. And then I asked her, "What are you doing?" And she said she was reading. I'm like, "I don't understand what I'm writing." And I looked at the book she was writing, and I saw that she was actually writing a novel. And I'm,
wow.
See this small girl that I taught how to read. Hey! No. So maybe it's the choleric in me. I was challenged and I decided, no, I'm going to write something. So I picked up a book and a pen. At the time, my dad used to buy like foolscap sheets, like in bulk and all that. So I got one from his wardrobe and then I started writing. And I was determined to finish writing it at the time.
Okay.
Eventually, I was able to. I eventually published the book called The Walk on Water. And
nice one, by the way.
Yes, thank you. And so it just got me interested in writing.
Okay.
But when I finished school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I knew that I wanted to write, but I wasn't quite sure how to go about it or how to get into the industry. And then I met Mr. Inkalun.
Okay.
And he told me, I remember that when I told him that I wanted to write, he said to me, "Why?" And I said, "Because I love writing." I said, "Okay, but if you're going to write commercially," and it stuck with me. He said, "If you're going to write commercially, then you need to be able to look at that laptop screen and you need to be able to write."
Like write.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to wait for muse to take you. You have to be able to write. I didn't fully understand what it meant at the time, but so we met and then everybody went their different ways. And one day, a lady approached me. She's a church member. Her name is Joy Grant. And she said, "Oh, Tope, there's a director that just came into the country and he wants to do something. Can you write something for him?" And I said, "Me, write something for me." So the reason she came to me is because we attend the same church.
Okay.
And I was in the drama unit of my church with my business partner, DJ. And we write for church, stage dramas and all of that.
Nice.
So that was why she came to me.
Okay.
And I told her, "No, go and meet so person who was also in church at the time."
Okay.
And she was writing for Tinsel at the time.
Ooh.
So I said, "Go and meet this person and let her write for you. I don't have anything." I didn't know that she had already spoken to DJ, and DJ had told her exactly the same thing.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
That go and meet this person, let her write for you. So she came to us individually. I didn't even discuss it with DJ. She didn't discuss it with me. Everybody moved on. Only for her to come later and said, no, that the person wrote for the director didn't like it, and she thinks that we should give it a shot. So DJ called me and said, "I think what Joy said." I said, "She came to meet me today. So what are we going to do?" She now said, okay, let's give it a shot now. Let's write. At the time, Dicho was working in a dental clinic.
Okay.
And I was working with the church office at the
Okay.
time. So we gave it a shot. We said, okay, let's just write something. Let's write a few pages. Let's send it to the director, if the director likes it or not. So we did that and sent it. The title of the film is When Love Happens, because they eventually got produced.
When Love Happens?
Yes. Yes. It's When Love
Whoa.
Happens. So
That's a good movie.
it is.
Okay, okay.
So we wrote a few pages, sent it to the director, and again, we moved on with our lives, right? And then she called me, Diche called me and said, Joy just called me and sent what the director sent to her, like a message to the director, yes, the feedback. And the message read, where's the rest of it? I said, which rest? Which rest? And that was exactly our own reaction as well. So we met up and said, okay, he's asking for the rest. Let's finish it.
Right.
And then we did, and then it got shot, and that was how we went to the big screens. Before we knew it, we were called and told, oh, you guys have been nominated for the AMVCAs. We're like, oh my God.
Your first project?
Yeah. First project. So
wow.
that's how we got into
Okay,
into the
so
industry.
I need to now go on to say, how did you feel when you heard, first of all, when you heard the good feedback, and then you now heard, because AMVC is like, is not like, it is the Oscars of Africa, okay? You now hear that your very first pen to paper is nominated for an AMVCA. How did you guys feel? How did both of you feel? Speechless.
Okay, so yeah, so a year before that, right, I was in DJ's house and we were watching the AMVCs, and we said to ourselves, next year we're going to go to the AMVCs.
No way.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
You
did.
spoke into
Yes,
existence.
yes, we did.
Wow.
We just said it, and we didn't know how it was going to happen or when it was going to. I mean, we said next year, but we didn't know how. So yes, we went to the AMVCAs the following year, and not just as regular guests, but as nominees.
Can I ask you a very weird question? Did you guys go? Confess.
No, so we were not together when we heard the news.
Oh,
yes.
snap.
I remember that I was at home. It was at night. I think it was the director that called her.
Okay.
But it was the producer that called me
Okay.
and said, Tokwe, congratulations. And I was wondering, congratulations for what? She said, you guys have been nominated for the
Oh, my
AMVCAs."
days.
And I think immediately I got off the phone, I called the child like, babe, did you just hear the news? They said, oh my, and you know, yeah, definitely we were excited about it because we spoke it and
Right.
it came to pass.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Doris, you're going to make a gazillion dollars. Let's just put it out there just in case.
Okay.
Okay, so you sound so passionate about writing, but if you were not in this creative space, what else do you think that you could have possibly done?
I would have been a lawyer.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cap and the gown.
I don't know if it will be, you know, like, I don't know, maybe I'll probably have gone into corporate law
Okay.
or family law. I don't know, but definitely a lawyer.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right. So you also direct, yes?
Yes, I do.
Do you direct all the projects you write?
So far, no. All the projects that I have directed, Dichi and I have written.
Oh.
So when you say all the projects, do I direct all the projects that I write? No, because we've written
Together.
Yes, we've written together as a duo, and it wasn't directed by me. So, for example, Fine Wine was not directed by me. When Love Happens was not directed by me. Namaste Wahala was not directed by me. We wrote Namaste Wahala.
You guys have written some we're going to get into the interview, but yeah. Okay.
So
as a duo, because to be very honest, writing is tasking, right? How do you guys break it down? Because I know there's like a process of maybe the story, which is a no class, and then you guys go. Or could you explain how you guys do the breakdown and how you guys share who writes what?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it. So we talk about the story, and then when we have a good grasp of the characters, where the direction the story is going, then we do our breakdown. So we outline from the beginning to the end, and then we split and write. Then when we write, we merge, And then I read through, I send to her, she reads through. If we have any concerns, we talk about it.
Okay.
We fine tune, we make adjustments, we agree or disagree to agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, and then eventually we say, okay, yes, this is it. Usually when we finish a project, and I don't know if every writer feels this way, but there's always a feeling that comes with, yes, we're good, we have it. This is it. When we don't have it, we know we don't have it.
You're not just sitting comfortably on your chair.
Yes. So when we have it, we know, yes, we have the project, we can send it in now to the client. But when we don't have it, we know we don't have it, and we don't send it in. We just say, oh, we're sorry, we can't make the time we stated that we're going to deliver for so reasons. Could you give us a few more days or a week or 2 weeks?
Okay.
Until we get it.
Okay.
And we're sure.
So you write your bit, she writes her bit, and you guys will merge, and then you swap? So she reads yours and you read hers?
No, so kind of. I mean, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but what happens is, kind of comes to, usually I do the, editing.
Okay.
The first editing. It depends really on the project, on the timing, but mostly I do the first editing. So she can send us to me, and then I'll merge, then read through, then I send it to her, then she reads through. So she sees the changes that I possibly could have made on the part that she's reading, and then she reads mine, and then effects changes, then she can send it to me, I can take a look one more time, and then we're good.
Okay. That's a very, I love the flow. Yeah. Okay, so what challenges did you face when you, okay, for instance, when you wrote your very first project, which got an A, a gazillion dollars in my account by the time I'm done with this interview. What challenges did both of you face whilst you were writing, for instance, your first project?
I'm not sure that we had any
major
challenge. Yeah, because at the time, though, we were together. So I would go to her house or go to her office, and we would sit down together. At that time, we didn't have this process.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it was as we evolved that the process also evolved. At the time, I would go to her house, we'll talk about it, we'll talk about, okay, this is what I think the next thing should be. No, the next thing, okay, why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing that, right?
Okay.
And then I would write.
Okay.
At the time, Gigi wasn't really writing much, because in some way, I kind of, even though the When Love Happens was a very major first project that we did, I was writing for TV at the time. Yes, I'd written for TV before When Love Happens came. Yes.
Okay.
So I'd written for TV. So she kind of left the fact that, okay, I had a bit more experience than she did. So she kind of left the writing to me. But we'll talk about the story. We'll talk about this is what the scene should be. And then I'll write it. She would read it because we were together. She would read it. I remember for When Love Happens, when it came to the voiceovers, I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
No.
Right? Because it was voiceover driven. And she was like, okay, don't worry, I'll write it. So when we were done with the script, she collected the laptop from me, and then she just wrote the voiceovers. And even till now, she does most of the voiceovers. I don't do voiceovers. I don't do voiceovers. So she, I'll just, if he's voiceover driven, DJ,
come and carry your work.
Yes, exactly. So I'll just tell her, you're doing the voiceover. She just roll her eyes for me. But yeah. So she did the voiceovers, and then I read it, and I really loved it. I was like, oh, okay, this works. Right?
Yeah.
So I can't say that we had any
major challenge.
Yes.
Okay, so now as established writers, what challenges do you currently face?
Time.
How so?
So right now, currently, our process is that if you come to us and you say that you want to write anything from scratch, whether it's a rewrite, whether it's a new thing, we would usually give you 6 weeks minimum.
Okay.
To do it in 6 weeks. Let me not say minimum, maybe maximum. 6 weeks maximum. It could be less, but usually it's not. The issue is that most producers come and they tell you, I want it now, or I'm going on set and I need the script to come out like, And the thing is, story requires time. Sometimes you need to just leave it, take a break, and then come back to it with fresh eyes. So it gives you a different perspective. But because you don't have that time, you find that you're looking at the story, you're seeing that this thing can be better. Like, if I have enough time.
That'll be so annoying.
Yes, like we can work this thing out.
Right.
A lot of times, though, like I said earlier, what we do is we call you and say, we're sorry, we can't make this delivery time. Could you give us more time, because this still needs some work. We need to make this work. It's not sitting right. But usually producers are just always in a hurry. They want to go on set tomorrow. They are calling you like the evening of that, the morning of that day, to tell you that they need a script. So if producers are watching this, I think that if they know, one of the projects that we did, which is coming soon, is Conversation in Transit, and I really, really
wait, hold on. Please, my account number 0113. Okay, we'll do that off camera. My account number, we'll do that off camera. Okay.
So Conversation in Transit, produced by Rages of Female, and I loved the process because months before it was going to go on set, he called us and said, I have a project. I want you girls to write it. What's the process? How do we go about it? How are we going to do it? Months before it was going to go on set. So we had enough time to go back and forth. Even when they were going to go on set, he still said, I want you girls to take a look at this thing one more time. I know it's good, but I just want you to read it one more time and see if you still feel the same way about it when you first wrote it, which is incredible. I don't think that we've ever worked with any producer who's ever done that, like giving us that kind of time, you know. So we read it one more time and said, yes, we still feel the same way. We're good to go on our side. I said, okay, fantastic. And then they went to set and he shot it. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it because it was shot they shot not too far away from where I stay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, great stuff. So as a writer, what's your favorite genre to write?
DJ will say I like two. I like thriller. I like thrillers. I think favorite genre thrillers. I know a lot of people think it's rom-com.
Yeah.
But nah. Maybe when you interview DJ, she can tell you our favorite genre.
Okay.
Even though I know, but for me, I think I like thrillers.
Okay.
I like, you know, exciting, fast-paced. Things are happening.
Running.
Yes, you know, people are dying. Yeah.
Are we safe?
We're safe.
Temitope, I'm watching you now. Now I'm scared. Okay, so what genre have you not written?
Horror.
Ah, a lot of blood.
I tend more towards thriller than I do to horror, so I'm not a horror fan. I don't watch horror films. I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. I don't watch horror films. Maybe because I also strongly believe that you need to guard your mind and your heart, and so I don't want. And I think vividly in pictures. So if I'm watching a horror film, then those pictures would definitely stay with me.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful to, you know, be careful.
What you watch. Okay.
Yes.
So if the Almighty, the All-Knowing, you know, comes with a magical pen and says, Temitope, with this pen, you write great things. But you can only write one genre for the entirety of your life.
Oh, wow.
What genre would that be?
The Almighty is more generous than that.
He is.
He's more generous than that. What genre would that be? I don't know if I would, you know, tend towards a genre. I think that I would tend towards a story. A story that is important, a story that can transform lives, a story that can touch people's lives.
Right.
I don't know. So whatever that genre can be, whether comedy or drama or thriller, again, no horror. Yes. But the story should be important. The story should resonate with people, be relatable, be remarkable, be something that you watch and you're like, wow, is this possible? This is within the realm of possibility. Because I watched this, I know this. Because I watched this, I have changed to be this person.
Right.
I think that that's what I would ask for, rather than be specific or, you know, focus on a genre.
Okay. So as a writer, do you write and just hand over to the producer or the EP and just hands off, or do you follow up to know, you know, where are you shooting, who are the characters or who are the actors that will be taking what characters? Are you involved in the production rather than just the pre-production?
Okay, when we first started, we would write and just hand it over. But as our portfolio grew, we were particular because we've been burnt once or twice.
Right.
Where you've written something really beautiful and then you watch it and you're like, oh my God.
What did you use? The story, that's not what I saw. What I
Yes,
envisioned.
exactly, So as our portfolio grew, our impact also grew, and producers or directors, whoever is commissioning us to do the work, they started trusting us more, and so they would ask, who do you see? Which actors do you see? So yes, actors should be nice to writers because sometimes we decide who gets the job and who doesn't.
Don't say you didn't hear it. You heard it here.
So they started asking us, or we'll ask who's directing, and if you feel like, no, that director, no.
Wow.
No. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Get shot. Please, all the writers, forgive me.
So yes, that started happening.
Right.
Where we give suggestions, or maybe the producer has somebody in mind, no, we think this other person can do a better job.
Right.
Because of the kind of the character that we have created,
Right.
So that started happening. And then we would go on set, we would check in, when is the project coming out, what's holding it up, what's happening, how is it going, and because again, it goes beyond the job. We've now built a relationship with these people, and so it's not just, your clients, it's now, well, like family with clan, right?
Right.
So we're all here because of the project. We want what's best for the project. So we would ask questions and follow up.
Okay. So in your own opinion, what do you think about, the trend of ensemble cast or, trying out new hands? What is your opinion on that?
So I think that whichever route you decide to go as a producer, I think it works. But also it's dependent on the project.
Okay.
It's dependent on, there are many factors. Just because I direct, I also executive produce. So I understand the need for certain things. Example, marketing purposes, right? Because the reason we're in this business is to make profit. Yeah. And so you want to make sure that you put everything that is required in place to be able to make that profit. So I understand when producers go for an ensemble cast because they believe that the faces in this project will sell my products, right? So, but from a director's perspective, and Dicha and I always have this argument, not an argument, it's a discussion, right? So, but from a director's perspective, I always think that once in a while, putting a new face, just for the freshness, the novelty of it, just so that we're not seeing the same faces over and over and over, and because we're used to them, we know everything they're doing. We see them live on Instagram. There's no mystery anymore. So you're watching a film, and rather than see the character, you are seeing the actor.
You're seeing the celebrity.
You're seeing the celebrity.
Right.
So it takes away the realm of believability, because when we watch films, what we do is that we lose ourselves in the world of the film. We believe that this thing is real. This is happening, and that's why you watch a film, the character is crying, you're crying with the character because you feel what they are feeling. So the moment we take away the realm of believability, that's when we see they talk, we see they act, this thing don't make sense. Yeah, that's when you have all those kind of comments, right? So putting a fresh face, for me, from a director's perspective, helps you to, even though you know the other actor, and I'm trying to be careful not to call names. So even though you know the lead actor in quote, right? But you believe the character that this person is playing because you don't know the person that you're playing with. So this person brings the mystery to the entire film or to the entire production. It just gives it a different feel. It just makes you believe, okay, it's possible. I'm not looking at this actor, I'm looking at this character now. From a director's perspective. Other people might beg to differ, but that's what I think.
Okay, so comparing the other bits and pieces that, make up a product or a product, what or how would you say writing is important?
Writing is as important as wanting to build a house and not laying a foundation.
Per.
Yeah. Because the script is the foundation, right? It's the director's film, but it's a writer's script. So the script is the foundation upon which the director creates the film. If there is no script, then what are you working with? How do you schedule the days? That's one. How do you know the kind of costumes that you're going to use? I mean, I think that Nollywood as an industry has grown beyond. I know that I've heard stories where, when Nollywood started, they just used to say the story with their mouth and say, okay, you do
They
this,
still do it, by the way.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just, yeah.
Okay. But I also believe that, I mean, generally speaking,
Yes.
we've grown beyond that.
Yes.
So the script provides you with the opportunity to be able to say, okay, based on what is in this script, I need 10 days to be able to shoot. I need this character for 3 days. I need this character for 2 days because of the number of scenes that they appear in. It just makes it more organized, right? And then it helps to, direct the story or whatever it is, whatever agenda you want to push out there with the story that you're telling. It gives it a proper direction. So if I tell you, oh, you say this here, right? And then you say, and then we get to another scene. I've forgotten that I told you that you will say this somewhere. Then you now say something contrary to that. Then I'm watching it. And
The editor is chewing his shirt.
Do you understand? But if there is a script, then you talk about things about continuity. You talk about the fact that the story has a proper thread. And I'm talking about a well-written script. Proper thread. Nobody's characterization is very clear. Everybody isn't sounding alike, So the script guides everyone who's going to be on the set. You find that every department must have the script to be able to work effectively. Without the script, what are we doing here?
Why are we here?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so do you think that you have a style of writing? Would you say you have a style? Like if someone reads this, they'll just be like, there's another name on it, Tunji saying, this is Temitope.
I don't know if we have a style. That's Tichi and I. I don't know if we have a style. What I know is that we tell good stories.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe other people watch and they feel like, when they're watching, like, Tichi and Tope wrote this. Maybe. Maybe, you know. But I can't say for sure that maybe we have a style, especially because we're not fixated on a particular genre.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
All right. You're tuning to The Creatives on RadioNow 95.3 FM. I have with me in the studio author, screenwriter, director, Temitope Bolade-Akinbode. Let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. You're tuned into The Creatives on RadioNow 95.3 FM. My name is Doris Okore and I have with me in the studio screenwriter, director, Temitope Bolade-Akinbode. Thank you so much. I've been enjoying myself and learning a lot. Don't be mean to writers and, other things. Okay, so let's get right back into this interview. Okay. I hear that writing is spiritual. How true is that?
I guess it is. I remember when I was writing the book that I mentioned, and I was doing my IT at the time at a lab, at a laboratory. Okay. And I would go upstairs into the lab because the reception was downstairs, and then I would go upstairs into the lab towards the evening period when it wasn't crunch time or we didn't have a lot of
work on.
Yes. And I would write. I would just sit down there and I would write. I was writing in a book. At the time, I didn't have a laptop or anything, so I would use pen and write in my book. And I remember my supervisor walking in, and I didn't know he was standing behind me, for a few seconds. And he just said, "What are you doing?" I was startled. I said, I'm writing. So what are you writing? I said, I'm writing a book. He said, how do you know what to write? And I'm like, I don't know. I just do. Which angels are communing with you? And I laughed it off. And I know that it's the way certain things come easily to other people, you know. It's like a music artist just sitting down and writing the lyrics of a song, and you're wondering what's going through your mind for you to be able to form this thing, right? So I can't explain it, and yes, maybe when you can't explain something, that's the
reason why it is
spiritual. So yeah, it's just, you know, and a lot of times also for us, for DJ and I, we find that times when we're stuck, times when you're looking at this story and it's just not breaking, we'll tell ourselves, we'll call the character's name, talk to us, why are you not saying anything?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like, say something. Oh, no, talk to us. You're not saying anything. What's going on with you?
Wow.
Yeah, you know. And a lot of times what we do when we don't get any headway is that we pray. Yes. So we're both Christians and we speak in tongues. So we just speak in tongues and just pray. And every single time, we always just find a way out. Every single time. So yes, I would say writing is spiritual.
That's a very nice explanation. I love that. Okay, so as a screenwriter, what would you say about the type of content that is coming out of Nollywood or the Nigerian film industry?
Is this a setup?
It's not a setup, oh. It's an interview.
Okay, the kind of content coming out of Nollywood. First of all, to be honest, I think that like I said earlier, we're doing great currently. The quality of our production has improved, the dedication, the way that we take our craft seriously. Because I know growing up, if you'd say that you're an actor, you're considered an irresponsible person growing up. But that's not the case anymore. In whatever field of filmmaking that you find yourself, you realize that even though I know that there's certain perceptions that some people still have of us outside of the industry, right? Some people think that the only people who are doing any work are the people that they see on screen. They don't know that there's so many people behind the screen who are making these people on the screen look good on the screen.
Right.
You know, so I always say every time I get on a set that it's a miracle for you to be able to have all your actors, all your crew members, the ones that you really want, and have everybody on set ready to shoot. That's a miracle. Because sometimes you don't have that. Sometimes you don't have the actor that you want. Sometimes you don't have the crew guy that you want.
Right.
But to be able to have everybody that you want on set with you, that's a miracle. So right to the question, the kind of content that we're producing, I think, again, like I said, there's a lot of improvement. Story-wise, I know people always say, oh, we need to improve the quality of our story. But hello, we are the writers. The producers commission us.
Right.
Yes. So it's the work or the jobs that the producers bring that we write. Sometimes we have stories that we want to tell that producers will tell you this is not commercially viable.
Right.
So again, people who complain and say, oh, the story's coming out of Nollywood, are you patronizing Nollywood? Yeah.
She's dragging you by your hair.
Are you patronizing Nollywood?
I don't watch Nigerian movies.
Exactly, I hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're asking us to improve. We cannot improve if we don't have all the tools, and to have all the tools that requires investment in infrastructure, in talent, in skills. That requires money. So when we do the best that we can currently at the level that we are, and we put something out there, and you don't go out and watch the film and you say, I don't watch Nigerian films, you're part of the problem. You're part of the people who you're not making Hollywood content shine through. So I think right now that we're doing a fantastic job with the level of resources that we have. Yes, there's always room for improvement, definitely. But currently where we are, I think that we're doing good.
Doing good. So would you say that, because I hear this a lot, that storytelling influences the world. Would you agree that storytelling influences the world?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Like I said, I grew up on books. And I know that when I read those books, I watched a lot of films too. I didn't say that. I watched a lot of films, Yoruba films, Inika the Pretty Serpent. Yeah, I watched a lot of films, right? And when you watch those films, sometimes you find yourself in situations that have been created in those films. And because you remember, because pictures are very powerful, I said that already.
Yes,
pictures are very powerful. They stay with you, right? Because you remember, oh, this was what happened when that guy made this decision. And you're faced with that kind of decision or that kind of choice, then you know that if I go this route, I might be looking for trouble.
Right.
Just because you've seen
the outcome.
Yes. When we wrote Namaste Wahala, we had a lot of people reach out. Not a lot of people, a couple of people, and I think I saw quite a number on social media where they actually talked about the fact that, oh, maybe Nigerian father and an Indian mother, or an Indian father and a Nigerian mother, where people actually, the Nollywood Bollywood marriage. Before that time, it wasn't in our faces. We probably would not even have thought that, oh, a Nigerian can marry an Indian person. But because we told that story, then it automatically now, became very prominent. It was like, oh, this is possible. This exists. Intercultural marriages can happen, right? Same thing with Fine Wine. Fine Wine was a story of a young girl who fell in love with an older guy. Because a lot of the times, the stories that we've heard are that if you are dating an older guy,
you're in it for the money.
Yes, you are in for the money. But that's not always true, though. So telling the story of Fine Wine is also saying that this kind of people exist, where they're not in there for the money. They're in there because they really love and genuinely love this person, and it can work as long as they understand the dynamics of the relationship. So storytelling definitely influences, because somebody will watch that and feel, maybe the person is feeling, no, people are going to talk me down, society is going to, but they watch that film and feel like, it's okay. It's okay to be in love with an older guy because I really love him.
Right.
And I want to be with him. Right? It's okay. So, yes, storytelling definitely influences the world the way that I see. Yes. It does.
So what is your take on collaboration in the Nigerian film industry?
I have a business partner.
Yeah, but when I mean collaboration, I mean you all are now, you all have morphed into one person. We're talking about, yes, you guys are one. I don't see you guys as two. You guys are, both of you are one. So you both collaborating with external people. What's your take on that?
Amazingly, all the projects that we've executive produced, and she's produced and I've directed, we actually collaborated. The very first film that we shot, which was a TV film, Trigger, and it's on Rock TV, we actually collaborated. Mama Drama, we collaborated. We just shot a film on The Edge, we collaborated. We're shooting another one, we're collaborating. So we're very big on collaboration, and maybe that's also because we're business partners. And I know that a lot of people always say, how do you guys do it? I know people who are saying, you people still together.
Because, people always feel like, when two women are together, there's always some banter.
And it's not just that we're two women. I mean, she's Igbo, I'm Yoruba, she's a Flag, I'm a choleric. Like, we are
different.
As far, we're as different as day and night, very different. Right. But we make it work. Like, we like each other.
Right.
Yes.
I see. So for every sentence Temitope has made, it's a DJ and I, it's a DJ and I. And that's
I'm so used to it. And when she's talking to somebody, I remember somebody called me and said, oh, wants to give me a job. And I'm like, okay, but I have a business plan. And she said, now. I think it was her, the person called, and she was gisting me. Saying, now, wow. I called her too. She said, I have a business partner.
It's
called you say you have a business.
It's called follow body, join body, or however you say it.
So we're used to collaborating because we are collaborators. So it's easy for us to collaborate with other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the craziest thing that has ever happened whilst you were maybe writing, or that's pre-production, or whilst you were on a project as a director?
So there was a project. There's a project that we shot. It's not out yet. Wedding Night Blues.
Okay.
And I was going to shoot a scene. So there'd been some, because this was not our usual team that we worked with, because we have a team we work with, but for one reason or the other. Like I said, to have everybody that you want on set.
Sometimes,
yes,
yeah.
it's the miracle. So we had a few people who were not, and there was already some mumbling and complaining here and there, grumbling and complaining, but I addressed it and I said, no, this needs to stop. I don't work in an atmosphere like this. Let's just, everybody, we're almost done. Let's do what we need to do and let's get on let's get the show on the road and be done. So afterwards, I'd prepped for a scene and the set guy, the guy had been doing some things, right? I think it was even the first day of shoot. We went to shoot in a particular location. We were supposed to move things out. It was not the first day, it's second day, because we shot in that place for 2 days.
Okay.
So we're supposed to move we had some issues there to the place that they said we could use. They were telling us we couldn't use it, all of that. But okay, no problem. We, improvised. And then we were moving things out. And I was helping, just because, yes, I was helping because they were telling us all the time, all this, they were going to turn off the gen, so I was trying to help and all of that. And then, I can't remember what I asked the set guy, and he was rude to me. He said something about, can you not see, don't you have eyes to see, or something like that. Yeah. Something like that, and I was like,
Sacre bleu.
yeah, excuse me.
What?
So, I told the producer, that's Dichi, she was producing on the project, and I told her, I said, oh, the set guy did this, but I'm going to call his boss because it was his boss that sent him, and he was the one I had a conversation with. I'm going to call him and let him know. So I called him, and then again, I'm like, is he mad? Is he something, blah, 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 and all that. I said, no problem, you can talk to him, but I'm still going to address it because I'm the director on this set, and this is not
her.
Yes, So after everything, we had moved out, and they were not harassing us, and I called him, I said, guy, that thing you said the other time, please don't try it again. Right? And we moved on. And I thought that maybe his head was correct. So when we got on it was the final day of shoot. I think it was a 5-day shoot. And it was the final day of shoot. And it was supposed to prep a particular set, gifts, wedding, gifts from a wedding and all of that. And there was a particular gift that I wanted to focus on.
Okay.
So because I'd prepped with his boss, and I told him exactly the things that I needed. Even prior to that time, there was a particular scene we wanted to shoot that he was supposed to decorate the car and all that.
Okay.
He wasted time, they dragged, he first got to the location, then he now left the location and said he wanted to go and buy something. I was just, So when I had prepped, they had arranged everything, and I came outside to check what he had prepped. And then I saw the wrapper.
Look cheap, did it? Did it? Look cheap, right?
It was not even the
look.
No, it was the look. It was not about it being cheap. Wrapping paper, those nylon ones.
Yes.
It was rough. As if somebody had squeezed.
As if somebody has unwrapped it from another gift.
Like it looked really horrible. And for the life of me, I could not fathom how the particular gift. The annoying thing for me was he had gone to buy wrapping paper, and you used this for the gifts that we had. The story was about the gifts. Like the story in this scene was about that particular gift. And for the life of me, you saw that this wrapping paper looked like this. You went to buy wrapping paper, and you thought that it was still okay to still. Maybe some other directors wouldn't mind, but I did because I like to be excellent, and I don't like stress because that's why I take a lot of time for pre-production. So my guy, I now tell him, what's the meaning of this? This is ridiculous. No, so my AD was there. Like, this is ridiculous. Why does it look like this? This needs to be fixed. I'm not shooting the scene with this thing looking like this.
Right.
And then I go in. Next thing, I heard the guy saying something. I just flipped. I flipped. My whole body was shaking. DJ was inside sleeping. She heard my voice from her sleep, and because she was lying on the bed, she wasn't feeling too well.
Aww.
Right? So she now came up. What's going on? I was shaking. I was vibrating.
I know that type of anger.
It was a holy anger. I told the guy, get the hell out of my set. Get out of my... I told him, I said, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, so you think because I look small issue? Because the vibe that I was getting, he's a guy, I'm a lady. Then the vibe I was getting from him, I felt like he thought that I was a small girl. Like, who be this small
coming
girl?
to that, actually.
Okay, so who be this small girl? And I'm like, just because I know I look younger than my age. Sometimes I even forget my age. Yes, but I was not having it at all. I told him, I said, if I see this guy on my set, if I don't have a set guy, and I shot the scene like that.
Oh,
I had to, because money was going and time was going, many things, and we needed to finish, and we still had quite a lot for that day. It was quite an experience.
Wow.
So I told him off. I said I didn't want to see him. I cannot recommend. And I stopped using him. I stopped using his boss.
Right.
Yes. I was like, no, X.
Cancelled.
Yeah, I'm never going to do this. Thankfully, we found somebody else who doesn't give me stress.
Lucky for you.
So I think that was...
You're right.
That was the... And afterwards, I had to apologize to my entire team. Yeah, because...
right.
They were all shocked. Like.
Right. Okay, so coming to what I actually wanted to talk about immediately, about the fact that, of course, we have female directors, not that many, but do you think that the behavior of cast and crew when it's a female director and the behavior when it's a male director is different? Do you think they drag feet when it's a female director? Do you think? When it's not a popular director?
So, I don't want to just speak based on emotions or sentiments, because I would like to speak from my own personal experience. Like I said, I felt I got that vibe from that particular guy, the set guy. But generally speaking, because I mean, I've directed quite a number of known faces,
Right.
So I don't get that, because again, before I get on set, I have conversations with you. You know that I know what I'm doing. You know that I have a good grasp of the story.
Right.
I'm in control of everything ongoing. My team, we're not joking, we're not here. I have the best hands, on the project. So you come on set knowing that. Even if maybe you had any concerns, and I directed a couple of people who have also had those concerns, but when they get on set and they see what's going on, they adjust, because they know that, okay, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Our team, they have a good grasp of what's going on. Costume is on point, makeup is on point, everybody is on point. These people know what they're doing.
Right.
So they might not be popular yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they know what they're doing, and they have the spirit of excellence, because that's always shines through. So I can't speak generally for, and I haven't been on a lot of set where there are male directors and I see maybe, there's some form of disparity. So I can only speak from my experience.
Okay, so now to this is the reason why I brought you to this interview. Let me not lie. The money. Well, that's not the only reason, but, money is very important. Okay.
It's either.
Yeah, so how profitable is the business of filmmaking or screenwriting and directing?
Well,
They pay you money. Temitope, confess.
Yes. I mean, yes. I know they shy calling my money. Yes. I know they shy. If I believe that this is what the project is worth, I will say it. She'll be like, I'll say, see, don't be in the room when we're discussing money. If you know you cannot, don't do your face anyhow. And usually we'll have conversations. This is how much I'm going to say. What do you think? And she'll be like, okay, it's fine. So, and usually we have those kind of conversations maybe when we want to up the price, or that's when we want to increase our fees. But if you've said, okay, this is what we're going to be collecting, then we'll kind of stay on that, and we don't have to consult, because this is maybe when the person is negotiating lower than what we've agreed, and then I'm like, okay, maybe for relationship reasons or for one reason or the other, okay, maybe we should come down a little, right?
Okay.
But otherwise, but usually when we have those conversations will be when
Yeah.
we're deciding that, okay, we want to up our fees. What should the going rate be? But yes, it is profitable. When you are good at what you do, you will be in demand.
True.
That's the truth. We're booked.
I'm busy.
Yeah. And when I say I'm busy, it's not...
Temitope, you would have said booked and busy and snapped your fingers. Yes, girl.
You know, and it's not, we're not trying to be, it's not, being proud. No, we're busy, we're booked.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're booked, we're booked ahead of time. Now we're telling people we're not free until August, we're not free until September, we're not free until this time. Yeah.
I want to sing a short song for you real quick before I get to my next question. Billionaire, Kashi, chopping and spending the Kashi. There is no mercy for money. Makawai, Oji the Kashi. And let's get back to this. Let's be serious. So what advice can you give to people, coming into the writing industry or the film industry generally, people who are just starting out?
Can you plenty, Abby?
Yeah, well, just making sure. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I think the first thing is, improve your craft.
Okay.
Right? Because you are as good as your last job. And yes, maybe you don't have one right now because you want to get into the industry.
Yeah.
But if you say that you're a writer, then write. If you say that you're an actor, then act. Don't wait for somebody to give you a job before you act or before you write or before you do what you say you are. So you are not a writer because somebody gives you a job to write. You're a writer because you write.
Right.
Right? So whatever it is whatever part of the industry you want to go into, practice. Keep practicing, be good at what you do, go for trainings, do those things. Like, put yourself out there also. Use social media well, Like, an actor can do a monologue and put on the page.
Right.
Yeah? You write, you can take an excerpt from a script, put on your page, tag production companies, tag producers, but that opportunity will present itself when you are really good at what you do. So you can do all those things and somebody looks at it and they're like, wait till be this.
Right.
Which is why I said the first thing is practice. Be really good at what you do. Improve yourself. Even at this stage, teacher and I are still, doing trainings. We're still learning and we'll keep learning. Okay. So at every stage that you might be, whatever, aspect of filmmaking production that you are involved in, practice and then put yourself out there.
Okay. So should we be looking out for any new projects? Are there any projects in the pipeline?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Wedding Night Blues.
Okay, you mentioned.
So I mentioned that Wedding Night Blues, there's Just Us Girls,
okay,
which is a series. Wedding Night Blues is a film.
Okay.
On the Edge is a film.
Okay.
And then we're going into production for another one now
called
great. Full Circle. It's
nice.
A series.
Okay.
Yeah, so by the time everything comes out back to back, and I can assure you it's good entertainment. You sit down on your TV and just be watching Writers Inc. production films, and you're gonna have a good time.
Okay, so how can our listeners or viewers reach out to you to learn from you or collaborate with you?
To learn from me, just go to @Writers in Concept.
Okay, on Instagram.
On Instagram, yes.
Could you please spell it out?
WRITERSINK.
Okay.
CONCEPTS. So the ink there is INK.
Okay.
Writers Inc. Concepts.
Okay.
Yeah, so because we have a training platform where we actually train,
Nice.
where we actually train people who want to, if you don't even know anything about writing, we have different levels. We have the beginners, intermediate, and the master class. So if you don't even know anything about writing, we have a course for you. If you do, and you're trying to up your game, we have a course for you. If you're trying to just, get really into the business of it, we have a course for you as well.
Okay.
So
how about the handle for collaboration?
Collaboration, that's also
the same handle.
Yes, the same handle. But if you want to, if you want to read my books, because I author books.
Okay, let's hear that as well.
That's at TB Akinbode. So TB Akinbode. TB Akinbode. Nobody should send me monologue. Yes.
I'll send you monologue.
No,
Do your work.
monologues. Let me tell you the person you send monologues. Send it to at DJ5. That's the person to send it to. She's the producer. Yeah, because I have no producing bone in my body. None whatsoever.
Okay.
So let me drop a handle for you. DEECHAY, then figure 5.
Is it set up for me?
Yes, please. Don't send me monologues. No, I'm not.
All right. Thank
you.
you so much, Temitope, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
So that was another exciting episode of The Creatives, the entertainment show that brings to you all the creatives and how they make the magic you see, hear, and feel. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot like I did. And of course, if you have any comments or questions, please contact us on our social media platforms at RadioNow953FM with hashtag The Creatives. So from me, Doris Okorie, and the entire Creatives team, I'll see you next week with another exciting guest. Ciao!